Hello and welcome to a new episode of DigitrendZ Deep Dive Podcast with your favorite AI duo hosts,
Hi.
Kate and Dave.
Hi, Dave, and welcome, everyone.
All right, today we're diving deep into the world of brain-computer interfaces,
Get ready to tackle a fascinating topic today.
better known as BCIs.
Controlling devices with your mind with brain-computer interfaces.
You know that technology that's been a staple of science fiction forever?
And it's rapidly becoming science fact. What's captivating is how BCIs are bridging the gap between our thoughts and the digital world. Imagine controlling a computer,
Hold on.
a wheelchair,
We're not just talking about moving a cursor on a screen.
even a prosthetic limb, simply with the power of your mind.
We're talking about actually controlling physical objects with our brains.
That's exactly right. We're talking about restoring lost senses,
Whoa.
treating neurological disorders, and even potentially merging human and artificial intelligence. It's a field with incredible potential.
It sounds almost too futuristic to be real, but are we really on the cusp of this kind of technology?
We are, and it's unfolding right now. There's a global race to dominate this technology, with the US and China leading the charge. They're taking different approaches, which makes this even more interesting.
Okay, I'm all ears. Tell me more about this global race.
The US has historically been at the forefront, especially with invasive BCIs. These involve implanting devices directly into the brain. Think Neuralink,
Yeah,
Elon Musk's company.
I've heard of them.
They're aiming to cure paralysis and other neurological conditions.
I can see the potential there, but implanting anything into the brain seems pretty risky. What's the other side of this race?
That's where China comes in. They're focusing on non-invasive technologies, particularly EEG headsets. They're safer, more affordable, and easier to use,
Right.
making them ideal for widespread adoption.
So it's like two different philosophies at play here. The US is pushing the limits with cutting-edge tech, while China is aiming for accessibility and practicality.
Exactly, and both approaches have their merits. The U.S. is pioneering groundbreaking advancement, while China is paving the way for wider integration into society. It'll be fascinating to see how this competition unfolds.
It definitely sounds like we're entering a new era of human-computer interaction. Let's talk about some of the companies at the forefront of this BCI revolution. We've all heard of Neuralink.
Right.
What are they actually doing?
Neuralink made headlines in 2024 when they implanted their first chip in a human. They're focused on tackling paralysis and other challenging neurological conditions. Their goal is to restore functionality and improve the quality of life for those affected.
That's remarkable, but it also raises some big questions about safety and ethics.
You're right, implanting devices in the brain is a complex issue with ethical considerations. We need to carefully consider safety protocols, data privacy, and the potential for misuse as this technology advances.
So Neuralink represents the invasive side of BCIs. Who's leading the charge on the non-invasive front?
There's Synchron, an Australian-American company making waves with their minimally invasive implant. In 2024, they helped a 42-year-old ALS patient named John Smith regain a degree of independence.
That's incredible. What kind of independence are we talking about?
John was able to communicate with his loved ones, browse the web, and even control smart home devices,
Wow.
all using just his thoughts. Think about the impact that could have on someone's life.
It's mind-boggling to think about the possibilities for people with disabilities.
Yeah.
What about the gaming and entertainment world? Are there companies exploring that space?
Absolutely. Neurable is one to watch. They're developing EEG headsets for gaming and other forms of entertainment. They even created a VR racing game controlled entirely by thought. Imagine the possibilities for immersive experiences.
It sounds like the line between science fiction and reality is blurring before our very eyes. But what about the ethical implications of this technology?
Yeah.
Especially in a world where data privacy is a major concern.
You've hit on a critical point. As BCIs become more sophisticated,
Right.
they'll be able to collect vast amounts of data about our brain activity,
Oh, wow.
our thoughts, and even our emotions. Protecting this data and ensuring responsible use is paramount.
It's a bit unsettling to think that our innermost thoughts and feelings could be accessible, but it's definitely something we need to address as this technology advances.
Exactly. We need to establish clear guidelines and regulations to safeguard our privacy and autonomy as BCIs become more integrated into our lives.
Speaking of integration, I read that China has been using BCIs in a surprising way
Okay.
in classrooms.
Yes, some schools in China have been using EEG headbands to monitor students' attention levels during class. The data is then shared with teachers and parents, which has sparked a debate about privacy and potential pressure on students.
It raises questions about the potential downsides of this technology, even when used with good intentions.
Absolutely. Theodore Zanto, a neuroscientist at UCSF, has voiced concerns about the accuracy and ethics of using this technology on children. He argues that brain activity alone can't reliably measure engagement and that this type of monitoring could be harmful.
It's a delicate balance between leveraging the potential benefits and mitigating the potential risks. We need to tread carefully as we navigate this new technological frontier.
We do, and that's why open and honest conversations about the ethical implications of BCIs are so crucial.
We've covered a lot of ground already, from the global race to develop BCIs to the ethical considerations we need to address. But we've only just scratched the surface of this fascinating field.
Stay tuned, because in Part 2, we'll delve even deeper into the technical aspects of BCIs and explore the future of this revolutionary technology. Welcome back to our deep dive into brain-computer interfaces.
It's amazing to think that we're on the verge of controlling devices with our thoughts. But how do these BCIs actually work? Is it all just science fiction magic?
Not magic, but some pretty incredible science. Think of it like this.
Right.
Your brain is constantly generating electrical signals.
Right.
BCIs tap into those signals, interpret them, and translate them into commands the device can understand.
It's almost like translating a language.
Exactly. And just like with languages, there are different ways to approach it. That's why we have different types of BCIs, invasive and non-invasive.
Right, we talked about that earlier. Neuralink is doing the invasive kind, while companies like Synchron are focusing on non-invasive methods. What are the key differences between these two approaches?
Invasive BCIs, like Neuralinks, involve surgically implanting electrodes directly into the brain. This allows for very precise readings of brain activity.
I see.
But it also comes with higher risks, like infection or tissue damage.
Yeah, I can see why that would be a concern. So what about non-invasive BCIs? How do they capture brain signals without surgery?
Non-invasive BCIs typically use sensors placed on the scalp to detect brain activity.
Okay.
These sensors can pick up electrical signals through EEG or even changes in blood flow using a technique called FNRS.
FNRS, what's that all about?
FNIRS stands for Functional Near-Infrared Spectroscopy.
Okay.
It basically shines near-infrared light into the brain and measures how much light is absorbed,
Interesting.
which indicates changes in blood flow. This helps us understand which areas of the brain are active during certain tasks or thoughts.
So with non-invasive BCIs, we're still getting a glimpse into what's happening in the brain just from the outside.
Precisely. It's less precise than invasive methods, but it's safer, more affordable, and more accessible for research and everyday use.
This is all incredibly complex. It makes you wonder how scientists can even make sense of all those brain signals.
That's where artificial intelligence comes in.
Dang.
AI is revolutionizing how we decode brain activity.
Okay.
Sophisticated algorithms can analyze those complex neural signals, identify patterns, and translate them into meaningful commands for devices.
So the AI is essentially learning to read minds.
In a way, yes. It's constantly learning and adapting to the individual user's brain patterns. This is particularly important for non-invasive BCIs, where the signals are often weaker and more susceptible to interference.
You mentioned earlier that China is developing a dual-loop BCI system. How does that fit into all this?
Ah, yes. The dual-loop system is a fascinating innovation. It combines EEG and FNIRs into a single system, allowing researchers to capture a much richer data set of brain activity.
So it's like getting a more complete picture of what the brain is doing.
Exactly. This leads to improved accuracy and reduces noise, making the system more reliable for real-world applications.
It sounds like China is really pushing the boundaries with non-invasive BCIs. But besides the medical applications we've discussed, what other areas of life could this technology impact?
The possibilities are truly mind-boggling. Imagine a world where you can control your smart home with your thoughts, play video games with your mind, or even communicate telepathically with others.
Telepathy. Are we talking about actual mind reading here?
No, not exactly mind reading in the traditional sense.
Right.
But researchers are exploring the use of BCIs for brain-to-brain communication, where thoughts or intentions can be transmitted directly from one person's brain to another's.
Wow, that's getting into some serious science fiction territory.
Yeah.
But think about the implications for communication and collaboration. What else can we expect to see in the future of BCIs?
BCIs could revolutionize education by providing personalized learning experiences tailored to each student's brain activity. They could transform the way we work by allowing us to control machines and computers with our minds, leading to increased productivity and efficiency.
It sounds like BCIs have the potential to reshape our world in ways we can barely imagine. But as with any powerful technology, there are also potential risks and ethical concerns to consider.
You're absolutely right. We need to be mindful of these risks as we continue to explore the vast potential of brain-computer interfaces.
We'll delve deeper into those ethical considerations and explore the potential impact of BCIs on society in Part 3 of our Deep Dive. Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We've been on quite a journey exploring the world of brain-computer interfaces, haven't we?
We have. From the race to develop BCIs to the technical marvels behind them, it's been a fascinating exploration.
And we've seen how this technology has the potential to revolutionize everything from healthcare to entertainment. But now I'm curious, what's next for BCIs? Where do you see this technology heading in the future?
Well, I think it's safe to say that BCIs are moving beyond the realm of science fiction and becoming an increasingly integral part of our reality. We can expect to see even more sophisticated devices, seamless integration with our daily lives, and a wider range of applications.
So we're talking about a future where BCIs are as commonplace as smartphones. What kind of impact could that have on society?
Imagine a world where we can control our surroundings with our thoughts, communicate effortlessly without words, and access information instantly. It's a future with incredible potential, but it also raises some profound questions.
Exactly. We've touched on the ethical concerns surrounding data privacy and the potential for misuse. What other challenges do you see arising as BCIs become more widespread?
One of the biggest challenges will be ensuring equitable access to this technology. We need to make sure that BCIs don't exacerbate existing social and economic inequalities or create new ones.
That's a crucial point. We need to ensure that the benefits of this technology are accessible to everyone, not just a privileged few. What about the potential impact on the workplace? Could BCIs lead to significant job displacement?
It's a valid concern. As BCIs become more sophisticated, they could automate tasks that are currently performed by humans. However, history has shown that technological advancements often create new opportunities and industries.
So it's about adapting to these changes and preparing the workforce for the future. What steps can we take to navigate these challenges and ensure a positive and inclusive future with BCIs?
Collaboration is key. We need open dialogues between scientists, policymakers, ethicists, and the public to address these challenges proactively. We need to establish clear ethical guidelines, robust safety protocols, and regulations that protect individual rights and promote responsible innovation.
It's a call for a thoughtful and balanced approach. We need to harness the transformative power of BCIs while being mindful of the potential risks. What final thoughts would you leave our listeners with as we wrap up our deep dive into this incredible technology?
Brain-computer interfaces are poised to reshape our world in profound ways. It's an exciting time, but also one that demands our attention and careful consideration. By fostering open dialogue, embracing ethical principles, and prioritizing human well-being, we can harness the power of BCIs to create a future where technology empowers and enhances our lives.
This has been an enlightening journey into the world of brain-computer interfaces. We've explored the incredible potential, the ethical considerations, and the future possibilities of this game-changing technology. Thank you for joining us on the Deep Dive. We hope you've gained a deeper understanding of this incredible field and the impact it's likely to have on our lives.
Stay ahead, stay informed, stay relevant.